Aarav Knight always believed success mattered more than anything, even more than the woman who loved him. The day Elena told him she was pregnant, he didn't celebrate, he accused her of trapping him. He walked away, choosing power, fame, and business deals over the family he never wanted. But months later, just as he signed the biggest contract of his life, a hospital number flashed on his phone, and Elena's broken voice whispered his name. Now she was in the delivery room fighting for her life, and the truth waiting inside would destroy every lie he ever believed. Aarav Knight believed the world ran on two things: power and precision, emotions, weakness, attachments, distraction, and love. A deal he never planned to sign. His office windows stretched from floor to ceiling, reflecting the skyline of a city he practically owned. Investors waited for his decisions, partners depended on his yes, and tonight, he was hours away from sealing a contract that would crown him the youngest global CEO in his company's history. Everything was perfect, controlled, managed, timed, until Elena stepped into his office. She was pale, her hands trembling slightly, clutching her coat as if it was her shield. Aarav didn't even lift his eyes from his laptop. "Why are you here?" he asked, fingers still typing. Aarav. Her voice cracked. "I have to tell you something. Later." "No, now." He exhaled sharply and finally looked up. "What is it?" Elena swallowed, eyes filling. "I'm pregnant." For a heartbeat, silence. Then Aarav leaned back slowly, expression unreadable, cold, flat. "Calculating, Elena," he said, voice dangerously quiet. "Why would you do this?" Her breath hitched. What do you mean?" "I told you I'm not ready. I told you my career is the priority right now. And you," he gestured sharply at her stomach. "You went ahead anyway." Tears gathered in her eyes. "Aarav, this is our baby. I didn't plan this. I'm scared too." "Scared?" he snapped. "Elena, do you understand what this will do to me? To my schedule, my image, my deal?" Her voice shook. "You're thinking about your deal right now? I have worked for this position my whole life." His voice rose, echoing off the glass walls. "I can't let a pregnancy ruin everything I built." A tear slipped down her cheek. "So that's all I am to you? A problem? You're a distraction," he said bluntly. "I don't have time for this." Elena's heart cracked into pieces. But Aarav wasn't done. "You know what? I think you did this intentionally. You knew I was finally close to reaching the top. So you tried to tie me down." Elena staggered a step back as if he slapped her. "How can you say that? You want sympathy? A pause in my career. Not happening." Her hands shook violently now. "Aarav, I need you. I'm alone in this." "Then stay alone," he said coldly. She stared at him, chest trembling, soul breaking. Then she whispered the last words he expected. "Fine. I won't bother you again." She walked out, wiping tears that wouldn't stop. Aarav didn't follow, didn't apologize, didn't think twice. He simply returned to his laptop, convincing himself he made the right choice. But life is never impressed by a man's plans. It has its own. 8 months later, Aarav stood on a stage under blinding lights, the room filled with applause. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted his name. The deal was done. He won. He was unstoppable. His phone buzzed. A random hospital number. He dismissed it. It rang again. He silenced it. Then again, persistent, urgent, annoyed. He finally answered. "What?" A trembling voice whispered. "Is this Aarav Knight?" "Yes." "Who is this?" I'm calling from St. Luke's Hospital. You are listed as Elena Knight's emergency contact." Aarav froze. "Emergency contact? What happened?" he demanded. "Sir, she's in critical condition. She's in the delivery room. The baby's heart rate is crashing." The nurse's voice cracked. "She keeps saying your name." Arav's heart slammed into his ribs. "I'll be there." He didn't remember dropping the mic, didn't remember running through the hall, didn't remember leaving the event. He only remembered one thing: she's in critical condition, and she still wants him. 30 minutes later, St. Luke's Hospital. Aarav burst through the doors. Breathless, chest burning, the harsh hospital lights made him dizzy. The smell of antiseptic stabbed his senses. Every step echoed with guilt he didn't want to face. "Where is she?" he demanded at the desk. The nurse pointed toward the maternity emergency wing. He ran, past crying infants, past anxious families, past white coats that blurred into panic. His heart had never beaten this fast. Not even on his biggest business nights. Not even when billions were at stake. But tonight, nothing mattered except one woman he pushed away. The moment he reached the delivery room doors, he heard Elena's voice, broken, weak, calling his name between screams of pain. Aarav, please, where are you? His soul shattered. He grabbed the handles. The doors swung open. What he saw inside stopped his world. Elena lay on the table, drenched in sweat, trembling violently, clutching her swollen belly. Doctors rushed around her. Machines beeped in frantic rhythms, her oxygen mask fogged with every gasping breath. She looked like she was fighting death itself. Aarav couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't speak. His hands shook as he stepped forward. This was the woman he left. This was the pain he caused. And this was the moment life finally made him pay. He reached her side, voice breaking into pieces. Elena, I'm here. She opened her eyes, weak, glassy, full of agony and a kind of love he didn't deserve. Aarav, don't leave me again. His throat tightened painfully. I won't, I promise. But promises are easy. Truth is not. And the truth waiting for him in this delivery room was about to destroy the man he used to be. Aarav's voice trembled as he held Elena's cold hand, but she couldn't hear him anymore. A violent contraction ripped through her body, forcing a scream out of her that sliced the room in half. Her blood pressure is dropping, fetal heartbeat unstable. Prep for an emergency C-section. Aarav staggered back, terrified, useless, staring at the chaos he had created. The monitors beeped faster, the doctors moved quicker, and Elena looked like the life was draining out of her with every second. A doctor snapped. Sir, you need to stay back. No. Aarav grabbed Elena's hand again, his breath shaking. I'm not leaving her. I'm not leaving my baby. His words hung in the air. My baby. The same child he once refused to even acknowledge. The same woman he abandoned when she needed him. And now both of them were slipping away right in front of him. Elena blinked weakly, her lashes wet with tears. Aarav, I didn't want to bother you. He felt that sentence like a knife to the spine. You never bothered me. He whispered, voice breaking for the first time in years. I was blind, stupid. Elena, please, stay with me. I'll fix everything. I swear, she cried out again, her back arching in pain. A nurse rushed toward him. Sir, please step aside, she's not stabilizing. No, he said hoarsely, she needs me. Let me stay. But the doctor shook his head firmly. If you stay, you'll get in the way. If you want to help her, sign this. He shoved a clipboard into his hands. Consent for emergency. Surgery. Risk of organ failure. Risk of hemorrhage. Risk of maternal death. Aarav's blood turned to ice. His eyes blurred. For the first time in his life, power meant nothing. Deals meant nothing. Success meant nothing. Because he could lose everything he never appreciated. His hand shook as he signed. Ink smeared from the sweat on his fingers. When he looked up, they were wheeling Elena away. She whispered, barely conscious, voice floating like a fading candle. Take care of our baby. If I don't. No. His voice cracked violently. Don't you dare say that, Elena. You're not leaving me. But the doors slammed shut before he could reach her. He pressed his forehead against the cold metal, breath shuddering, chest heaving as a truth finally stabbed him. He didn't just abandon her. He destroyed her. And now, she might pay for his mistake with her life. Aarav slid down to his knees in the hallway, hands in his hair, gasping as the world he built on pride finally collapsed around him. For the first time ever, Aarav Knight prayed. Aarav didn't know how long he sat on that cold hospital floor. Minutes, hours. Time didn't behave normally when fear was eating your lungs from the inside. His vision blurred, his ears rang, and every heartbeat felt like someone punching against his ribcage from within. He had faced hostile takeovers, billion-dollar negotiations, cutthroat boardrooms, but none of them had ever made him feel this helpless. A soft voice broke through the chaos in his head. Sir, you should sit on the chair. You're shaking. A nurse offered him water, but his hands were trembling too violently to hold it. Is Elena going to live? He choked out. The nurse exhaled slowly. We are doing everything we can, but she lost a lot of blood before arriving. The baby's heart rate dropped dangerously. She came in extremely late. Aarav shut his eyes, pain slicing through him. Extremely late, because she had no one, because he sent her away, because he wasn't there when she needed him. He pressed a hand to his forehead, breath stuttering. Is the baby? We're trying to save both, the nurse whispered, but truthfully, it's a fight on both sides. Another contraction of guilt tore his chest open. This was his fault, all of it. Every tear, every scream, every risk, every danger. He buried his face in his hands. I should have been there, he whispered, voice breaking. I should have protected her. I should have protected them. But regret doesn't heal bleeding arteries. Regret doesn't restart a fading heartbeat. Regret doesn't make time rewind. And regret, no matter how strong, couldn't bring her back if she didn't survive that operating room. Aarav stood suddenly, pacing in small, frantic steps. He saw flashes in his mind. Elena laughing in their old apartment, making a mess while trying to bake something for him. Elena falling asleep on his shoulder when he worked late nights. Elena's bright eyes when she told him she believed in him. Elena's tears the day he called her a distraction. Her cracked voice when she whispered, "I won't bother you again." He leaned against the wall, squeezing his eyes shut, the pain unbearable. How did he go from being her entire world to the man who abandoned her in her darkest hour? A doctor rushed by. Aarav grabbed his arm. "Doctor, please, how is she? How's Elena? What's happening?" The doctor gently pulled his hand away. "We're trying to stop the hemorrhage, and the baby's oxygen levels keep dropping. We need to work. Please wait." The doors closed again, leaving Aarav alone with the silence that felt like a punishment. He slumped onto a bench, elbows on his knees, head hung low. A little old lady sitting nearby glanced at him with soft eyes. "Son, whoever you're praying for, pray harder. Maternity emergencies don't play fair." He swallowed thickly. "Pray." His voice cracked. "I don't think God listens to men like me." She smiled sadly. "God listens to guilty men more than the proud ones." Her words hit him like truth he never asked for. He stared at his hands. Hands that built empires, hands that signed million-dollar contracts, hands that pushed Elena away, and now, hands that couldn't even open a hospital door to save her. He whispered, voice raw, desperate, "Please, don't take her from me. Don't take my child. I know I don't deserve them. I know I did everything wrong. But I'll change. Just, let me fix this. Let me be there. Let me make it right. Please." Tears slipped from his eyes. The kind he had never allowed anyone to see. The old woman placed a hand on his trembling shoulder. "I hope they come back to you, son. Just be ready to deserve them." He nodded, biting down on the pain. Minutes ticked past. Then an hour. Then another. Every second felt like a blade slicing deeper into him. Finally, the red light above the surgery room door flickered off. The doors opened. A doctor stepped out, exhausted, mask pulled down, gloves stained. Raf's legs almost gave out. He rushed forward. "Doctor, please tell me. How is she? Is she alive? And the baby? Tell me something." The doctor took a slow breath. "The baby," Aaraf's heart stopped, "is breathing on their own now?" Aarav covered his mouth, tears filling his eyes. "But Elena, she lost too much blood. Her heart stopped twice. We revived her both times, but she's unconscious." Aarav felt the world tilt, but he steadied himself against the wall. "Unconscious," he whispered. "For how long? We don't know," the doctor said gently. "She is stable for now, but she hasn't woken up. She's in the ICU." Aaraf's breath shattered. Can I see her?" "Yes, but be prepared. She's very weak." Aarav nodded, his body trembling. He walked through the ICU corridors, each step heavier than the last. When he finally reached her room, he froze in the doorway. Elena was barely recognizable, pale, fragile, hooked to tubes, machines beeping softly, oxygen mask rising and falling with difficulty. She lay still, too still. Aarav slowly walked to her bed and sank to his knees. His voice broke into pieces. "Elena, I'm here. I'm right here." He touched her hand gently. It was cold. His heart cracked open. "You fought so hard," he whispered. "You saved our baby. You protected them, even when I didn't protect you." A tear slid down her still face. Aarav leaned closer, whispering like a man begging for a second chance at life. "Please wake up. Please, I'll spend the rest of my life making up for what I did. Just open your eyes. Just once. Please, Elena." But Elena didn't move, didn't respond, didn't hear him. Aarav pressed his forehead against her hand, finally breaking down completely. And for the first time since he became the powerful man the world feared, Aarav Knight cried like a child. The ICU was too quiet, too white, too still, too cold. Machines beeped softly around Elena, each sound a reminder of how fragile her life had become. The room felt like a world where time didn't move only pain did. Aarav sat beside her, his fingers wrapped around her hand, afraid to let go. He hadn't moved in hours. He barely blinked. He watched every rise and fall of her chest with the desperation of a man who'd been punished enough. He whispered, voice cracking, "Elena, please, please come back to me." But she remained lost somewhere his voice couldn't reach. Her pale face, her still eyelashes, her unmoving lips. It felt like watching a beautiful soul Trapped between life and death, and he was the reason she was there. The door opened quietly. A nurse entered with a small pink bundle. Aarav's heart stopped. "Sir, your baby," she said gently. "She's stable now. We need the mother's signature for some documentation. But since she's unconscious, you'll have to sign." Aarav slowly stood, hands shaking. He looked at the tiny life wrapped in blankets, eyes closed, breathing softly. Unaware of how close she came to never seeing the world, Aarav swallowed hard. "It's a girl." The nurse smiled. "Yes, a little fighter. She never gave up." Aarav's chest tightened. Like her mother, he reached out with trembling fingers and took the baby into his arms. The world paused. She was weightless, warm, perfect. Tiny fingers curled around the fabric of his suit. His throat closed as he whispered, "Hey, little one." Tears blurred his vision. "You shouldn't have had to come into the world like this. Not alone, not scared, not without both your parents." He looked at Elena, still unconscious, still silent. He moved closer with the baby and gently lowered her onto Elena's chest, guiding her tiny head to rest near her heart. Instantly, the baby let out a small whimper, and something inside Elena's monitor flickered. Aarav gasped and leaned closer. "Elena? Elena, can you hear me? It's her, our baby. She's here. She's safe." The monitors beeped steadily, but Elena didn't open her eyes. He took her hand, voice trembling. "Elena, she needs you. I need you. Please, love, don't leave us." Minutes passed, then an hour, then another. Doctors checked her vitals, adjusted drips, whispered to each other. Each time the door closed, Aarav's heart cracked a little more. He sat back in the chair, the baby now asleep in his arms, while Elena lay only inches away, yet unreachable. He spoke softly, as if confessing to a sleeping soul. "Elena, the night you left, I convinced myself you were wrong, that you were ruining my life." He swallowed painfully, "But the truth is, you were my life. The only part that ever made sense." He gently brushed a strand of hair from her forehead. "I thought success would fill the emptiness in me, but when I got everything I ever wanted, I realized I lost the only thing I ever needed." His voice broke completely. "I'm sorry, for every word, every moment, every tear. If you wake up just once, I'll spend all my years giving you the love I never gave." He kissed her forehead softly. "Please, just come back." Silence answered him. Eventually, the nurse returned. "Sir, would you like to move the baby to the nursery?" Aarav looked at his daughter's sleeping face and shook his head. "No, she stays with her mother." The nurse nodded kindly and left. Aarav placed the baby beside Elena again, careful and gentle. He leaned forward, forehead resting on Elena's arm. He whispered one last plea. "Come back to us. Please." His breath trembled. The baby shifted, a faint tiny cry escaped her lips, and then Elena's finger twitched. Aarav froze. He lifted his head slowly. "Elena," her eyelids fluttered. Another twitch, then her lips parted, weak and slow. Aarav?" He choked on a sob. "I'm here, I'm right here. Look at me, please, look at me." Her eyes opened halfway, unfocused and dazed. But alive. Alive. She blinked slowly, tears slipping from the corners of her eyes. "You came," she whispered, voice fragile. Aarav grabbed her hand and pressed it against his cheek. "I never should have left. I should have been here. I should have been with you from the start. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything." Her fingers weakly curled around his eye. "Thought I'd never see you again." He shook his head, tears dripping onto her hand. "You're not losing me. Not now. Not ever again." The baby whined softly, as if joining the moment. Elena's eyes shifted, falling on the little bundle lying against her chest. Her lips quivered. "Our baby?" Aarav nodded, tears shining in his eyes. "Yes, a girl. She's perfect. She's strong, just like her mother." Elena's hand trembled as she touched the blanket. A small, beautiful smile tugged at her weak lips. "She made it, she did, because you fought for her, even when I didn't deserve you." Elena looked at him, eyes filling. "Aarav, promise me, you won't leave her, or me." He leaned in, took her face gently between his hands, and kissed her forehead with all the love he once refused to show. "I promise, on my life, I will never leave either of you again." A tear slid down her cheek as she whispered, "Then maybe we get another chance." Aarav kissed her hand. "We do. From today, everything changes." As the machines beeped steadily, as their daughter slept peacefully between them, as Elena's eyes closed, not in pain but in relief, Aarav finally felt something he had been chasing in all the wrong places. Not success, not power, not victory. Family, love, redemption. He held Elena's hand tight and whispered, "We begin again, the three of us." And for the first time ever, Aarav Knight finally became the man he was always meant to be. Don't scroll. Their story isn't over yet. You saw how Aarav shattered Elena's heart, how she fought alone, how fate dragged him back to the very woman he abandoned. But the truth is deeper, darker, and far more painful than anything he expected. One mistake destroyed their love, one phone call brought him to his knees, and one newborn child changed everything he thought he knew. If this story pulled you in, if you felt her pain, his regret, or the baby's innocent struggle, then don't stop now. Watch till the end and feel every emotion they fought through, because some stories break you before they heal you. Full video ahead, don't miss it.